Morning and thank you for tuning in to Addy and Daddy with special guests today, Sean Alexander the Great and Boudica, which you can see her booty first right off the bat. And don't forget, guys, you can't spell Daddy without the Addy. I said you can't spell Daddy without the Addy. We have an awesome show today. It is Taco Tuesday. Do we love Tuesdays?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Resets on all of our gamers, resets on all the new seasons. What else happens on Tuesdays? We get tacos.
Oh, yeah. Fresh homemade Taco Tuesday.
Ooh, we love making our own tortillas. Isn't that right?
Yes, we do.
We have a special guest for Black History Month. We're going to talk about Mary C. Cole. You remember that song off of Horrible Histories, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. We'll sing it back here in a little bit. And we have a special guest for Show and Tell today, Boudica. Sean is actually going to lead us today. Sean, could you lead it? And you may be able to hear the dogs barking. They're going crazy because the chicken is in the house.
Yep.
Sean, could you please lead us in the simultaneous sip? Now, Sean's not going to read. He's just been listening to Addy. And let's see what he can do here, Sean. Show us what you got.
All you need is a cup or a mug or a glass, a teacup or a china or glass, a contained jar or a stein, a vessel of any kind, filled with your favorite liquid. I do like coffee, hot cocoa too, with some crunchy peanut butter and soft peanut butter. Not when I go, Jack, but anything works. And let's do the simultaneous sip.
Are you hearing that? Debunk, I'm going to tag you again on today's episode. I mean, come on. Little man's 5 years old. He didn't read that. He just did it verbatim. I know for a fact Scott would have been very proud of that. He liked when Addy did it, and I didn't even think Little Man was going to be on it. Sean, thank you for that. Anybody joining for the sip today got a special treat. Thank you for tuning in across space and time. No matter what time you're tuning in, here is the sip. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Now, Sean, if you could, please go get those dogs. Stop barking.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us today, Sean. Beautiful work. You can take them outside, Sean. Thank you, sir. Extra treat coming your way.
Extra treat right there.
Extra treat coming his way today. Can you believe he just did that?
Yeah.
That was amazing. I can't believe he just did that. He just did that, Addy, without reading, without anything. He just did it off the top of his head.
Ooh.
How awesome is your little brother?
Very awesome.
Were you jealous? You're still reading it. He just did it. Memorization.
I am very proud of him and a smidge jealous.
Good, that's okay. Healthy jealousy, right?
Yep.
All right, guys. And now, Addy, the reason that the President of the United States of America tunes in each and every day, right here, to lead America, to join America. We're no longer scared. We will no longer be afraid to be who we are. We won't stay silent any longer. In fact, 2026 demands that we get loud. Isn't that right?
Yes, it is. That's in the Bible. Get louder and louder. When there's a crowd, get even louder.
That's right. You're not supposed to stay silent. And for too long, many of us have stayed silent. But no more. Lead us in that beautiful pledge, Adeline.
Let's go, kids. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For all. And something Daddy learned this morning when talking to some of my men in my men's text, a bunch of them didn't actually know that Daddy won national awards. You can see here the GAEA NSPA National Competition and Convention. Daddy forgets that some of his friends met Daddy at different parts of the journey. And Daddy doesn't, unlike everybody, I don't, tell you all the amazing things that I've done because, it's got to have proper context, right?
Yes, it has to.
But in this context, even some very close friends of mine that I've known for years, I would say decades, didn't even know that at age 15, Daddy was flown to Washington, D.C., paid for by my school and my peers. Didn't have $1 in my name. We were a working family that was working hard with lots of brothers and sisters. To go to D.C. was, quite expensive back then for a 15-year-old. But the school sponsored me. They flew me down, and we competed in 5 competitions. Now, the team competed in about 7 or 15 total, I think. But my team that I was with, specifically, Shane Barnell, big call out. We'll do a whole show on just how awesome Shane was, my mentor and senior when I was a sophomore.
Okay.
The one that him and I entered in, the first one that we did,
Okay.
we set the new standard of excellence and got first place, not just first place in the nation, guys, but set the new standard of excellence so that every competition after that was using ours as, hey, you got to be at least as good as this moving forward. And that was really cool and really special. And there's a lot more behind all that. But I couldn't believe I'm talking to one of my best friends this morning. He's like, wait, I thought you were kidding. I was like, wait, what? So just wanted to remind you guys, lots of awards were won, but one of the first ones was at age 15 in DC. And there was multiple ones won that time, 2 actually first places, but we'll get there later. I just was having a talk this morning with some guys and I thought, wow, that's amazing that one of my best friends doesn't even know what we were doing by age 15.
Dramatic.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sarcastic.
Yeah, so we'll get into that some more. Addy has show and tell today, guys. We want to talk a little bit about Boudica. For those of you who know who Boudica is.
I'm Boudica, the toughest warrior in the lands in the sea.
You know that song from Horrible Histories.
Yeah.
But we named this little chicken Boudica, and
She's the
she
leader.
is the leader of the chickens. She right now, I'm not sure what she's trying to do. I think she's about to jump down. She hasn't started laying eggs, but we should start getting eggs anytime, starting like literally this week. She is big enough, as you know. But I'll let Addy take over. Addy, take over and learn, change, and grow, guys. Time for Addy's Corner.
Show and tell for chickens. Fun facts about a Buff Orrington. Oh, Boudica's a Buff Orrington, by the way. Pretty Buff Orrington. Friendly. Gets up to 7 to 8 pounds.
Ooh, up to 8 pounds. That's a big chicken.
Yeah. And who bred them to be this big and friendly? William Cook in the late 19th century.
19th century. Okay.
And
He was in the UK, right?
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And how much does the chickens lay? If you have chickens before Orrington fact, you're going to be lucky. 200 and 280 eggs per year, and they're a light brown.
That's awesome. All right, and as you know, the chicken laying slows down in the winter, right?
Yes.
And we're in the middle of February, even though we're in Florida, it's beautiful outside. But that's a little bit why Boudica hasn't really started yet, right? This would already be the slower part of the time anyway. She would know not to lay those eggs yet because it's a little too cold for the chicken. Yeah. So is she gonna start up here in the spring?
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna have some Easter eggs to go look for in the backyard.
Yeah, Easter eggs and cook eggs. So if anyone catches their egg, they get to fry it themselves. And there's a tree egg. Two birds in one stone.
Yeah, nice, Addy.
Thank you, Daddy.
Thank you for teaching us. And again, what type of chicken is she? Could you say that name again?
A Buff Orrington.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And she's loving our backyard. We are going to build a better coop for her this year, right?
Yep.
That's right. Okay, well, since you brought up the UK from
Thank you.
Buff Orrington, William Cook, we'll use Black History Month to talk about the UK as well. Some of you may know this lady, some of you may not. In 2016, they finally gave her a statue. But in the UK, one of the things that we learned, even in US history as we were growing up, especially in Texas, I don't know about all your other states, but we learned about this Jamaican who was amazing, right? So in 1805 to 1881, so born 1805, lived till 1881, she was a pioneer Jamaican Scottish nurse. So that's why we're bringing it up. You see Boudica, the Celtic, the original, from Scotland. So we're tying them all together here. A Jamaican Scottish nurse in 1805, born and raised, went to help out the British soldiers during the Crimean War from 1853 to 56. And here's why this is important, guys. We know who Florence Nightingale is. You remember she got those nurses going, et cetera, et cetera. She's got her story. We'll get her again later. This story is about Mary Seacole. Now, here's what happened. Mary's like, yo, I've studied herbal medicine. I've studied some stuff. I know how to help some people. I'd love to go help. And they said, nah, you can't come help. Florence Nightingale, starting who program? Nah, we don't need you. She asked the British government, yo, let me volunteer and go to the war. I will help. And even the British government was still like, nah, we're just going to let our dudes die to the silliest stuff. It's war, right? What did Mary do as we see? What does God say? Do you remember what is Isaiah, Addy? Our favorite Isaiah?
Isaiah 6:8. I heard the voice of the Lord say, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then I said, here I am, send me.
And that's exactly what Mary said. Mary Seacole asked for God to give her the permission. She got it, and she immediately used her own money. She used her own ways. She ignored everything around her telling her no. And is that how it works, Addy? Have we spoke about that all week this week?
Yes, we have.
Right. Do we know that people are going to get in your way and try to stop you? We watched the movie Miracle. Did every coach and every person in there try to stop him from leading that team?
Yes.
Right. When we started this show, did we get a lot of flick-flack from everybody?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Did we lose some liberal friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that stop us?
No, it
Did we
not.
gain more friends than we lost?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do we have a better network now than we even had before?
Yes.
Right. Mary knew that she had to take it up upon herself to do what she wanted to do, which was help. Mary took off into war, set up her own hospital, used her own money for supplies, started bandaging, nursing, and taking care of the soldiers. And let me tell you, she became known as Mother Seacole. So if you've ever heard that, Mother Seacole.
Leave it down below in the comments.
And you may have actually even seen the authored Wonderful Adventures of Miss Seacole in Many Lands from 1857. That was the first autobiography by a British woman of African descent. So not only for Black History Month are you able to find one of the first Black authors, but the first Black nurse, Jamaican Scottish in the UK, wrote her own autobiography. So you get to hear it from her side of the story. So we cannot recommend, many other autobiographies that you should read here in, outside of Thomas in Black History Month, but we definitely recommend this one, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. If you've not read it, it's a wonderful read. What she went through, what she did, did she get some racism and some hate from some people?
Mm-hmm.
And did she get some love and support from some people?
Yeah.
That's right. And do we always end up beating the racists?
Yes.
We do, don't we?
Yes, we do.
That's right. Love conquers all. And that's what we are going to lead with as we go back into some other pieces of the news. Now, Addy, what else did you learn about chickens? Anything else? She's docile? What does that mean when she's docile?
That means she moves around.
She's friendly.
She's friendly.
And she lets you pet. She's a lap chicken.
Oh, she's a lap.
That's right.
Yep, she's a beautiful.
And does she let us pet her?
Yeah, she does.
She's chill.
Yeah, she's a pretty chicken.
She's good. Okay, fun fact, guys. 15 years ago yesterday, Bitcoin reached $1 for the first time. Bitcoin. $1 15 years ago. You know how many buddies that were watching the show wish they could go back 15 years and invest in Bitcoin?
Yes.
Every single one of them.
Every single
one of them. Because now they know what they didn't know then. What do you know, Addy? What did Big Pops and Grandma Kiki load you up with at Christmas this year?
They loaded me up on Archer stock. Bitcoin.
XRP. Addy gets an F again for the fourth time. Why do you get this wrong every time?
I don't
You only have one crypto. What is it?
Crypto.
XRP. Well, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Give me some calf raises. Let me see.
Let's do 10. One.
Sorry, Big Pops, Grandma Kiki. Addy has a big X that we gave her to. What is XRP, Addy?
XRP is a bank like every other bank.
Nope, that's Ripple. All right, little guys. We got homework to do with our little girl who I thought knew all of this, and that's a big F today. That's okay. We'll get back on it. Ripple, the bank, the one that's putting the rails in for the system, is going to show. So if you haven't invested in XRP, like I thought this little girl was educated up on, you need to, because it's already back down. It's at the lowest you can get. Now, if you've paid attention at all, the last time in the first term when we got $1,200 checks, those who invested it in Bitcoin made quite a bit of money.
Yes,
and if you looked, over 80% of the people who got their tax returns back then, that stimulus check in the first term, used it for Bitcoin. We're suggesting you apply that to XRP. 15 years ago, XRP or Bitcoin was at $1. XRP, which is going to be the new token, it's the new security, and the Ripple, the company that owns XRP, is owning the world. So from this journalist to yours, and I thought she was going to help educate you, this could be your last go around to get in on XRP while it's at such a low number.
Yep.
But if you want to look at stocks, Addie, what's the stock that we were talking about that you said this time?
Archer stock.
Archer Aviation or Joby Aviation, the new flying machines are a great investment there. The Dow is over records, as you've seen, setting new records. Every day we look up, new historical records are set. So making investments in America is already paying off for everyone who is doing that, right?
Right.
We want to help with the future, and we're telling you XRP is the way to go. Addie, homework today.
Yep.
Know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
All right. Japan's PM secures the supermajority snap election victory. Guys, so if you were paying attention to Japan, you know that the hot box, she just took PM. She called for a snap election, took her own job, took it. She just got elected. She took it off the line in the first 9 months and said, do you think I'm doing a good enough job to hire me again? And she laid off the parliament. They all sat down. An election took place. And do you know what happened, Daddy?
What?
Do you know?
No.
You don't know. Japan, looking just like the Ronald Reagan election of past, had every single district flip for her and for the right wing. That shows that Japan 100% tried the same immigration policy that the UK was using. And after you saw the World Economic Forum discuss out loud that the policies were failing, and then admitting that with robots incoming, Japan, one of the leading countries in the world that stayed off the migration, will now benefit the most. Why? Because when you insert people into the country that don't want to follow the country's rules, well, then you can't have the country you want. And that's not talking about America or Canada or Mexico or anything. We're talking about Japan. And Japan has a unique culture. Japan has a culture that they've developed and that they've grown over centuries. Is that right?
Right.
Does everyone, whether or not you like it, are you able to see Japan's culture?
Yes.
That's right. We watch some animes.
Mm-hmm.
We visit. Ergo ga tsukoshi wakarimasu ka?
Tsukoshi wakarimasu ka?
Good job. We understand that a culture should be respected. In America, we regularly talk about respecting cultures. In Japan, they noticed that those that were coming into their country were not respecting their culture. In fact, many influencers online, from YouTube on to TikTok, purposely visited the country to disturb and to inappropriately behave and disturb the culture. One example is that these sakura blossoms, the Japanese cherry blossoms that are beautiful and a wonderful place to see, had to close 3 of their villages.
Because they were very disrespectful. Then they pooped up pee on their grass.
That's right.
On the land.
The tourists that visited, well, not going to say who and from where, were very disrespectful. And we're not even going to get into it. Addie already knows. The 8-year-old reporter knows. So they had to close down the festival to keep the tourists out. The lessons have been learned, and Japan has spoken. Again, we're just sharing the truth with you. Yeah. Japan has spoken. Every single district, save one, every single district went right. And they all went for one reason. They want to respect the culture. They want to respect Japan. They essentially said the same thing that you've heard here in America, Japan first, to keep the culture where it is, to keep the families together, to keep the values the same, to keep the future up, the trajectory, right?
Right.
So that's interesting to see. And we're happy that a election took place and the people got to vote. Is that right?
Yes, we are.
Now, something you're going to want to see here, guys, is we've been talking about robots. Switch to technology. Technology. Insert the graphic here.
Technology.
China's adoption of industrial robots has surged over the past decade, Addie.
Whoa.
Industrial robots are rapidly becoming a common part of manufacturing in some countries. And although everybody who watched the Super Bowl got inundated with 1 million commercials seeing the robots coming here to America, you need to know how far behind we are in regards to China. When you look at the graph here, you can see that in 2023, Japan is at the top, United States in second, South Korea third, Germany in fourth, all under 50,000 unique touches with the robots. And you say, well, okay, well, how close is that to China, right? China is above 250,000. Okay, so the leading countries, Japan, United States, South Korea, we're not even above 50. And China's already above 250,000. Guys, what we mean by that is if you look at the ports, for example, in China, if you look at the ports in China, it's all robots. They have little robot claws that move the industrial piece, that cling it, that move over the warehouse goods that are in boxes, that are in tankers, that are in, what are we looking for here? I'm thinking, what are these containers called? Big metal shipping containers. Big metal shipping containers, I think there's another name. But these big metal shipping containers at each size that you could offer, the robots are moving them. They're on little robot wheels, boom, 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 they go. There's literally no human involved. All the analytics, an entire port, okay? Robot arms, not a man dropping a crane that might get tired or needs overtime pay. Robots. Now in the UK, here in the US, we've put a little bit of a stop to that from the union works and trying to keep human jobs in the ports. You've seen that over the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. But the robots are here and they're coming, and they're going to take some of those jobs away, especially from people in the docks. Now, as the unions try to fight that and they try to push back some of that technology, it's not going to matter. China's already doing it and already showing what it looks like. One of the reasons China's goods can stay at a lower price for quite a while is because they're taking the human aspect out of it. And the robots all the way across the board. China has, as we talked about, talking robots that are already going to help the quality of life. They look like humans, right?
Yeah.
China has flying cars, right? Yeah. China has automated vehicles driving, and they don't even have roads in some of these places that these vehicles are in. We watched some cool videos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those trucks are just like bumping all around. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But the robots are here, and in other parts of the world, they're being utilized more than the U.S. So here in 2026, guys, you are going to see the rise of the robots. Is that right?
Yes, you are.
Now, here's a fun story for some of you who didn't know. Let's go back in time. Do some calf raises, little girl. In the 1970s, a toy whistle from Captain Crunch cereal boxes made a special 2,600 hertz sound that let people trick AT&T's phone system into free long-distance calls. Some of you may remember this. Hacker John Captain Crunch Draper discovered it on inspiring phone freaks. Even Steve Jobs, both Steves, built devices called blue boxes to do the same thing, kickstarting their ideas for Apple. It didn't quite break AT&T, but it did spark tech innovation. So AT&T had just built a big program, a big broadcast grid. They had just built in all this infrastructure, and along comes a Captain Crunch whistle that could be blown into the phone, and it would initiate the free call. Guys, that was a real thing. That's not, the urban myth that happened on the street light. A Captain Crunch whistle at the right hertz was getting the job done. How crazy is that?
Very crazy.
That's pretty funny, right?
Yep.
Well, the surveys are in. Lots of people watched Bad Bunny. For those of you that understood the lyrics, you understood why it was not kid-friendly in any shape or form. And yet, if you go across Facebook, you'll see quite a few individuals, we're not going to even name people or name their religions, who they think they're following religions, were literally promoting the Bad Bunny as in, you're not loving your family if you're not watching this. And then we saw the lyrics that were in the songs and in the shows. We didn't watch it because we were tuning into TP USA. And where was America actually at? They were at the Kid Rock TP USA show. Kid Rock had a change and showed his progression to Christ and shared that with the world. That was the most loving moment you could have seen in a halftime show for your family, to see them go in that generation. So, of course, it's getting a lot of hate. Isn't that right?
Yes, it is.
Well, only from one side, because if you do the surveys, even TMZ, we know we don't watch TMZ, we know they're fraud, but TMZ's own poll shows that over 65% of the Americans enjoyed TP USA halftime show. One of the greatest things we've ever seen of all time. And he brought it back so we could have family entertainment. And is that what it's about, Addy?
Yes, it is.
Shouldn't we have family entertainment?
Yeah, that's good family that even babies can watch.
Yeah. Should family entertainment be controversial?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Family entertainment is not controversial, and it shouldn't be controversial. But as you saw, you have multiple people on the left screaming and crying that there was a Christian performance. Weird.
Very
What you got, little lady?
What's controversial mean?
Well, it's used, meaning that some people debate it. One side agrees, one side doesn't agree, and that there's argument and debate about it. Should you be arguing and debating about having a Christian halftime show? Should there be any problem there?
No.
Shouldn't that be celebrated?
Yeah.
Shouldn't that be loved?
Yes, it should.
Well, that's what it was, and that's what most of America feels like. But are there a few haters?
Yes.
Yeah, there always will be. Were Christians fed to the lions?
Yes.
Did the Romans put Christians up on crucifixes and crucify them?
Yes.
They did. So is it any surprise that Christians are getting hate here in America from Marxists and from communists?
No, it is not.
That's their game plan. The Unhumans, the Bolsheviks, will do that, right? People thought it was a revolution in Russia that the people rise up, but it was not. It was the Bolsheviks that hated Christians and murdered and hung Christians. Because why? What do Christians represent, Addie?
They represent God.
And do they represent family values?
Yes, they do.
Absolutely. And will family values be hated on those that are seeking to destroy America?
Yes.
That's right, guys. You don't have to do the math on that. You don't have to be a super duper award-winning journalist to understand that. And we're thankful that one administration is doing the work. Now, the other thing that we want to talk about is the UK again. You're going to get ready for this one, guys.
Get ready.
Suppression of free speech is one thing in the UK you know is happening, but we talked a little bit about them wanting to change the rules so that Judge Dredd, that a judge, a magistrate as they call it, doesn't need a jury for peers. They can just pull you off the street, send you to jail 2 years before any appeals even allowed. No more appeals. Why would a country do that? Weird. Awfully suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Well, get ready for this, Addie. You want to talk about don't be suspicious. The Ministry of Justice has ordered, are you ready for this, guys? The deletion of the UK's largest court reporting archive. Who does this?
Who?
Court Desk, a platform launched to improve media access to the magistrate's court's data, public facts, what's happening to the people. According to Court Desk, the platform has since been used by more than 1,500 journalists, 39 different media organizations, and data provided has highlighted serious failures in the court systems. So as soon as journalists get access to the information, are they able to see what's happening?
Yes.
Are they able to talk about it?
Yes.
Are they able to share about it?
Yes.
And what are we seeing happening?
They're shutting it down.
Oh, yeah. Journalists were given no advance of more than 1.6 million criminal hearings. The number of court cases listed was accurate on just 4.2% of the sitting days, and 500,000 weekend cases were heard. No notification to the press. And now they're blocking that, guys. They're blocking that. They're deleting it. The journalists no longer have access to the court cases. Now in America, we have the Freedom of Information Act because we have freedoms. Are you seeing the UK continuously strip, continuously hide, and suppress their people, Addie?
Yes.
Does that sound healthy?
No, it does not.
That definitely doesn't sound like America, but that's the UK. That's what the British people are doing to their citizens. Locking you up, not letting you have an appeal, not letting you get a jury of peers, but they slam you in front of a judge of their choice, who knows what their motivations are, and they can send you away to prison for 2 years and you can't talk to anybody. And that's a real country. That's the United Kingdom in 2026. Have you ever been more thankful to be an American citizen?
Yes, I am.
We cannot express enough gratitude to Americans and to everyone who's fought since 1776 to see the freedoms we have now here in 2026 and the freedoms that are lost in the United Kingdom. Absolutely atrocious. And we're going to leave you with this news because you didn't want to hear this one today. Maybe some of you did, but ABC News, right?
ABC.
We don't like to quote Disney, but do we read all the news?
Yes.
We do. Are you ready for some Disney news today, guys?
Ready.
ABC News. This is from ABC News.
ABC.
A former police chief who investigated the Jeffrey Epstein in the mid-2000s, which we all know this, told the FBI that he received a call from Donald Trump at the time to say, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone knows he's been doing this." This is the FBI's account of the new files that we've seen from the Epstein files. Donald Trump called up the police officer, the police chief, who was helping bust Jeffrey Epstein, and thanked him for his hard work and told him to bust his ass. Is that awesome?
Very awesome.
That's contradictory to the mainstream belief and what most of the liberal left and the haters tried to point out, that they have a picture with Trump and Epstein prior to 2006 here. And exactly what happened after this was busted? Well, you guys know the record. We don't have to get into it. You know what Trump did. He banned him from Mar-a-Lago. He tried to force the case. He called the police chief. He gave the victims help and aid to go after him. But you know, because you're informed and you've watched our show and you understand who Robert Mueller is, you understand that Robert Mueller helped stop that. And then guess who buddied up with Jeffrey Epstein after Trump kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago and said no one should be hanging out with this guy?
Who?
Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton started partying with him on a regular basis. Guess who else?
Who?
Bill Gates. So the very people who stand against this administration all started partying with Epstein when Trump said, don't get away from this guy. He's fraud. We need to arrest him and ban him from Mar-a-Lago. But you have Bill Gates and Bill Clinton and Andrew, the prince of the royal family, all regularly partying, hanging out on the flights, going everywhere with them, staying in the New York mansions. Bill's got a big picture with him in a blue dress up there in Epstein's office in New York, where everyone's visited and stayed in. And we're supposed to believe that all of them who explicitly hate Trump are somehow on the same team.
They're not.
It's awfully suspicious, right?
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
We're glad that more light is being shown to the world. And we're glad that even ABC News is now cracking the tape and showing you exactly who was on what side. Pretty clear for me to see.
Very.
We'll see as more develops, because we're only beginning Q2 right now. We still have 15 more days before we get into it here in February. Do we have good news happening?
Yes, we do.
Do we have protection?
Yes, we do.
Do. Uncle Frankie, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you watching. Uncle Frankie is the master of the pieces up there. If you guys can see, we've got some trophies up at the very top there. These guys. Now, my Uncle Frankie was a race car driver racing those buggies up over in Tyler, Texas. We used to go to the horse, or not the horse races, but we used to go to the races when we travel in from Dallas. And he had rooms full of these guys. I mean, when I used to go visit my uncle, this bro had an entire room. We couldn't even stay in one of the guest bedrooms at Grandma and Grandpa's house because Uncle Frankie had an entire room of trophies taller than that. I didn't get any of the cool ones, even though I'm asking you, Uncle Frankie. He had, trophies that were just massive because the bro was good at racing cars. I know that's a little bit in my blood. It comes from the mom side of the family, right?
Yep.
But Uncle Frankie, we just want to give you a shout out. We know you watch the show. Thank you for tuning in and giving us a watch out. Best race car driver of all time.
Best.
We appreciate the trophies that you let us keep over here.
Thank you.
We love seeing them. If you got any more of your trophies, Uncle Frankie, that you want us to hold on to, we would love to hold on to Uncle Frankie's race car.
Very.
Isn't that right?
Yes,
We really want a Beetle. That's what we really want. We need to get our own Volkswagen Beetle that we could start learning how to drive and race, right?
Yep.
We're talking drift car racing too, guys. We're talking one of the first drift car races of all time. My uncle, Frankie, millions of trophies. We love looking at them.
Yes, we do.
So, guys, that's going to be it for our show. We want to leave you with the last piece. My mother is going through surgery today for her left eye, and everything's been going great, and it's looking great, but we're going to see a little prayer here for her today just to make sure that everything stays safe. Is that right?
Yes, we are.
Thank you, little lady.
Let's go. Lord, thank you so much for allowing me and Daddy to shine our light and help everyone know the truth. Please allow Nana and Dad's mom to help her heal and help her have a great surgery to help her live. Thank you so much, Lord. Thank you so much for the opportunity for us to learn, change, and grow. Thank you so much, Lord. Please allow Nana to have a great day today and have an amazing eye surgery. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, little lady, for leading that.
You're welcome.
One more prayer, one more pledge of allegiance to lead us out.
Let's go, kids. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all, guys. We'll be much more on justice for all, as you'll see over the next 2 weeks. We promise you that.
Yes, we will.